Addressing and optimizing different lifestyle or ecosystem factors is another huge part of the base phase, and really any phase of a runner's training schedule. But when I say lifestyle or ecosystem, what I'm referring to is things like nutrition, sleep, stress management, things like that. If you can think of your body as kind of like the house, and the things that we've talked about a lot, like your aerobic engine, your strength, mobility, speed, all this kind of stuff, are what build your house. And then these lifestyle or ecosystem factors, they're the foundation that the house is built on. So if you're not sleeping well, you're not getting enough calories for the activity that you're doing, and especially protein. And if your stress is all over the place, it's going to have an impact on your running. Runners like to focus on a lot of these like weird type things for injury prevention strategies or injury management strategies, like certain supplements and like foam rolling and compression socks, wearing like certain kinds of sandals after a run. And I'm not saying those things are like totally ineffective, if some of them are, but those have really no or marginal impacts on your injury prevention. Whereas things like stress, sleep quality, and energy balance with calories and like protein intake, those are huge. Those are very clearly have been identified as modifiable risk factors for running injuries. And you need to focus on this kind of stuff all of the time, but I'm a big believer that the base phase, when you're trying to build consistency with all these other exercise based habits, is a good time to really lock in on those types of habits as well. You don't want to be changing up your diet, like your protein intake, and changing up your sleep habits and introducing all these new stressors or even stress management kind of tools when you're getting in that last 4 to 8 weeks before a race. You really want this stuff to be a habit that you've established through the entire base phase. And this video isn't designed to give you any really hyper specific recommendations for that. And some of that stuff certainly falls outside of my scope of practice to give hyper specific guidelines for things, but I can relay information related to like governing bodies of these different disciplines for sure. But overall, it kind of makes intuitive sense to you want your sleep quality and quantity to be at a certain level. You want it to be 8 hours, preferably. Now, everyone has all these different things why you might not be able to get enough sleep, and those certainly have to be taken into consideration. But research has really shown that those who sleep 6 or 7 hours are more injury prone than those who sleep eight. And with nutrition, you want to maintain a good energy balance when you're training hard. Now, you might have weight loss or weight gain goals, and you have to kind of take that into consideration when you're training and trying to lose or gain weight for sure. But what you want to be taking in enough overall calories to maintain what you're to yeah to do what you're doing. And protein intake is a huge talking point for runners. Most runners just don't get anywhere near enough protein. No matter what guidelines that you look at for things like that, I just will constantly see runners just falling well below the recommendations for protein intake. And then with things like stress management, having high levels of stress is hard to manage. I mean, we work a lot, there's a lot of things going on, and it's hard. But if you can figure out ways to manage your stress appropriately, whether it's seeking out help from a therapist, like a mental health therapist or anything like that, or just taking it upon yourself to figure out ways to reduce your stress and maintain a consistent schedule. Things like that can go a long way with helping you prevent injuries and helping build an overall foundation for your training as you go through this base phase and then start the more race specific training.